Have you ever wanted to enable hidden features or modify how your car behaves? Simple Car Guy here, and today I will show you my top 7 BMW Z4 coding mods. This platform BMW Z4 is a little bit older, so you won't have as many options as I've done on the BMW i3 in the past, but there are some still really good ones. So let's quickly talk about what you will need to get started. You can skip to this time on the screen if you are already familiar with the process, but I'll make it super quick. You will need this Veepeak adapter. They don't pay me to say this, and I bought this with my own money, but I recommend them because it's only $30 and it works well. You will also need to buy a full version of BimmerCode app on your phone, and then you simply plug in the adapter into the OBD2 port on your car and follow the steps to connect from within the app. I will then have coding steps for each feature I'm talking about on the screen or in the description. So let's get started. We'll start with something simple. Let's make the auto start stop function remember the last setting instead of always being on when the car is started. I think this should be the default option on all cars with this feature. I know when I need it and I will turn it on when I need it. Otherwise, I just find it annoying most of the time and I turn it off manually. It's also probably the reason why the starter went out on my car just a few months ago. This second mod is definitely my favorite. We can change the top speed the convertible top will operate while moving. On the LCI cars, I believe you can already do so, but on my 2012 Z4, as soon as you start moving, the roof operation stops. Until recent, I thought you have to get the Smart Top module to do this, but turns out you can code this using BimmerCode. There are a few things to consider, of course. I would not open and close the roof while driving every single time I use the roof. This will be more for a sudden rain or, when driving smoothly type of situation. Some say that the hydraulics are different on the LCI models or the 2013 plus models, but after checking the part numbers, everything seems to be the same. So I'm not really worried about it, but this does put more stress on all of the components, so use it at your own risk. This can be set to open the roof all the way up to 30 kilometers an hour, which is pretty cool and definitely very useful in the rain. Also, some US spec cars do not have convenient closing, so you can enable opening and closing the roof using your remote. At the default setting, it takes a couple of seconds for the roof to start opening or closing, which is too long in my opinion, so we can change that as well. On top of that, you can also allow your windows to be opened or closed while the roof is being operated. Gotta be a little careful with this one, but at least the passenger can freely open the door while the roof is closing. You can also enable easy access. This will lower the window halfway so you can get in and out of the car in tighter spaces. You just have to press the unlock button twice once the car is already unlocked. Just like that. I also added a digital speed readout in the instrument cluster right here, which is nice to have for a quick glance when driving. Of course, you can just toggle this on or off using the BC button right here once you have it coded. If you didn't know, most BMWs correct the speed that is shown to you on the speedometer right here, meaning it's slightly higher than your actual speed. And of course, we can turn this off as well if you like. While we are in this area, have you ever noticed how the windshield wipers don't complete the cycle when the car is turned off, especially when they're halfway through the cycle? Well, we can fix that too. We can also fix the level of the wipers when not moving. I always found it very annoying that it doesn't go flat down when you have the auto wipers on, but there's nothing to wipe or the car is stopped. Another setting that should work like this from the start is the air circulation setting. It resets every single time you restart the car, so if you left it on air circulation or this or that, it will change it back to default, or if you turn off air conditioning completely, the car turns it back on every single time, and I find it super annoying. But luckily, we can change this one as well. We can code it out, and basically the car will leave it at whatever you left it last time you were driving the vehicle and using air conditioning. Just like this Vixseed MagSafe phone holder will leave your phone in the exact position you left it in. It can be installed in seconds as long as the car has traditional air vents without having to use any adhesive. The 12 built-in magnets keep your latest iPhone securely attached even on bumpy roads. If your phone doesn't support MagSafe accessories, the kit comes with a template and a metal ring that you can put on the back of any phone. I like the clean, minimalistic design that doesn't block much of the vents or the infotainment display and doesn't look out of place when not in use. Links are in the description to get yours. Last on my list is the warnings and reminders coding. I have coded out the seatbelt reminder gongs as I know to wear my seatbelt and I wear it every time I need to, and I don't need to be reminded. Anytime I'm not wearing the seatbelt is because I'm moving my car, like on the driveway or parking it, or I'm in the garage working on something in the interior. I also hate it when it tells my passenger to buckle up, since half of the time my passenger is my work bag, my backpack, or my groceries or something like that on the seat. You can also remove the ignition key warning if that bothers you. If your BMW Z4 has an OEM screen, so not like that one, but the actual OEM one that's aftermarket, you might also want to get rid of the startup warning that makes you click accept before you can use any of the options on the screen. The camera warnings can also be coded out for when you go in reverse. And you can also enable video in motion, which is useful if you want to have your passenger watch some videos while you're driving. I'm not really sure. I haven't enabled that one since I don't have the OEM screen. There are a few coding options that I chose not to do on my own car, but I figured I would mention them. You can enable auto locking of doors and set the speed at which it does this. Pretty useful. You can also have your doors automatically unlock when you eject the key. I have comfort access, so that doesn't really work for me since my key is normally in my pocket. You can also add a panic alarm button activation on your key fob. You can disable the corner LEDs if you don't like the look of those and enable double pulse hazard flashers, or even add a 5 flasher instead of a 3 for turn signals. You can even increase the angel eyes parking light brightness. Just make sure your bulbs can actually handle that. Of course, there are many other things you can do with coding that don't really have anything to do with visuals or convenience. For example, you can change the battery type, allowing you to upgrade to a bigger battery, or you can turn off the voltage monitoring off so that you can upgrade to LEDs all around without having any warnings on the dash. I think it's pretty cool what we can do with our cars by just using a cheap little adapter and an app on a phone. What are your favorite coding options? Let me know down below. I'd love to see if I missed anything cool. Also, if you are new to this channel, why not check out where this car started and how it ended up here by watching this 2-year transformation video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.